Hello and welcome to HS Golf and today's video where I'm looking back at the best drivers that I reviewed in 2024. Now, if you're new to the channel, basically these could be brand new drivers for the year. So for example, Cobra Darkspeed or the QI10. They could be drivers that are slightly older. So maybe the TaylorMade Sim that I reviewed last year, the Sim 2, or even older than that, say the Nike Max Speed that I reviewed. The whole point of this channel isn't just to review new equipment that I can get my hands on. Don't get my hands on all of it, but I do manage to get some new stuff every now and again. But mainly to look back at old equipment that can save yourself some money and still have the same performance as the brand new stuff that comes out every year. Because let's be honest, technology advances, there really isn't any. The face can only be so thick. Well, so thin, sorry, not thick. They want thin. The club head size can only be so big. We've already maxed out that technology a couple of years ago. So really, the performance they keep on saying, going, oh, this is going to give you 10 yards, longer, this is going to be great. This doesn't happen. And, you watch a lot of reviews of the new stuff. And then if you watch a review of the older stuff, for say your PGA professionals out there who do the reviews, you can see that it doesn't jump up. It really doesn't. Don't get me wrong, all the new stuff looks brand new and shiny, and who doesn't want brand new and shiny? I would probably get a new driver and put it in the bag this year because I do like brand new and shiny. But do I think it's going to improve my game, being that 8 handicapper? I don't. It's only going to go in the bag because it's brand new and shiny, but I don't think it's going to be any better than the previous year. The way to improve your distance, if you're thinking about drivers, because we know obviously we're talking about drivers today, is number one, get yourself fitted, because then you have a club that is completely set up for your swing, and that's going to maximize your distance. And number two, well, three things really. Two, become a better player, so you can hit the middle of the face more. Easier said than done. And number three is increase your swing speed, because if you're swinging faster, you're going to get quicker ball speed and generally more distance. Buying a new club isn't necessarily going to help you at all. So there you go. Now, the way we're going to have a look at these clubs is basically go through the ACS golf scale. So we've got distance, feel, looks, price, and forgiveness. Yeah, distance, feel, looks, price, and forgiveness. I missed a finger out when I was counting that. And basically take the winner in each category, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. And also I'll throw out a few honourable mentions as well from each category that I think are great drivers also. If you're interested in my reviews from 2023 that I did, you can find the overall reviews for them in 2024, so exactly the same as this video, but just a year ago. Also coming up, I will have fairway woods, I will have hybrids and driving irons, I will have irons, I will have wedges. I didn't review that many wedges last year. Probably need to increase that a little bit more this year, and I will have putters as well. So lots of videos to come out regarding the best clubs I reviewed last year, and also, as always, brand new reviews coming out every Sunday. And if I do get my hands on some new clubs, they come out Friday, and a few versus videos as well. So lots and lots coming up. So do remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that bell icon so you do not miss out. If you're a return viewer, hello, nice to see you again. Now let's jump into it. So first category, let's go for the big one. Let's go for distance. So honorable mention, so ones that did hit that 5 category for me. So 5 out of 5. TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus, monster. The Titleist TSI 3, monster. The TaylorMade Sim, monster. The Nike Vapor Flex 440, monster. Those are some of the clubs I reviewed last year. And as you can see, none of them are new. I have reviewed other new clubs as well from last year, but they just maybe haven't quite got to that distance because, let's be honest, as I mentioned, technology hasn't gone that far. And for me, the winner of that category going for all of that is this one. That is not the right head cover, if you saw a glimpse of that. It's the TaylorMade Sim driver. This thing now is a couple of years old. When is it off the top of my head? Let's go back in time, shall we? QI10 to 2024, Stealth, 2020, 2021 was the Sim 2, and then went into Stealth and carbon fiber, and we're in the 4th generation this year of that. And we're in 2025. So yeah, so 22, 23, 24, 25. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, it is this. It is the Sim driver from TaylorMade. This thing is a monster. This thing is still a monster. You know, if you watch other videos out there, I remember Golf Bidder did one, and they were doing all the drivers from TaylorMade over the last years, and this came out on top for distance. It is built for distance. It's got so much weight at the front there. You know, it's got this inertia generator as well. It's low spin. If you get the launch right, it goes. For me, this is still the longest driver I've ever tested for this channel. Don't get me wrong. At the moment, currently, I'm mucking around with the Cobra, Cobra LTDX, no, the Cobra Darkspeed LS from last year, and that's an absolute monster as well. And I will put that against this. We'll have a little video, these two against each other, and see who's the overall winner. Because to be honest, as I mentioned, this thing really is a monster. So for me, this is hands down the longest club out there, and I think it is still. I'm going to still say it. I think it still is the longest out there. This thing's an absolute monster. So if you're looking for maximum distance, get this. Regarding the rest of the scale, because I'll just go through the winners and just tell you how they did in the rest of it. So the TaylorMade Sim, feel was 3.5, looks was 4, price was 4, and then forgiveness was 3. I think I was a bit happy when I gave the forgiveness a 3 of this. I think it might be a bit lower than that. But anyway, beautiful club, absolutely love it. Definitely some of my longest drives, well, probably my longest drives ever with this down the range. And I definitely, part of me is increasing my swing speed, and I do sort of want to put this in the bag over the summer because it is an absolute beast. But I need to be making sure that, number one, I've got my swing speed up, over 100 miles an hour. I'm sort of getting there at the moment. But yeah, I need to make sure I hit the middle of the face. If I don't, I will be punished by this. But absolute beast and a worthy winner for distance. You're not going to find anything longer than that. So go and save yourself some money and get that. Yes, that is a Sim 2 head. When I brought that, it came with it, which is annoying. I need to replace that, to be honest. One of these people always likes to have the right head on the right driver. Just me. Now, on to feel. So for me, some of the best feeling drivers out there. By the way, I own a few of these drivers still. The ones that I don't, I will show the photo of them so you know what drivers I'm on about. There's a few drivers out there that I think are the best feeling drivers. I think Titleist produce the best feeling drivers at the moment. I think Cobra produce the best feeling drivers as well. And I think Mizuno. I think those three up there produce some really lovely drivers. Callaway, I've never really got on with the feel of them. I have reviewed, I did do an AI Smoke, didn't I, last year? Yeah, AI Smoke, I did the Triple Diamond. It's nice, but it's just, for me, it's not up there. TaylorMade, again, is still very nice, but again, it's not up there. For me, it's those three there. They're the big ones. Friction, again, maybe not quite there. They're the three big brands. When it comes down to feel, they're the ones I think of. Now, Titleist, I did do a TSR2 last year, felt great. When I reviewed that before the new GT lineup came out, and I got a 4.5 out of 5. Nothing got a 5 out of 5, by the way, drivers last year. But for me, the winner was the Cobra Darkspeed X. A current driver, the Cobra Darkspeed X, I absolutely love the feel of it. Now, this is a driver I played all last year. I actually have sold their head because I picked up this head, which I've always wanted. I picked up the Cobra, what's it called? Yeah, the Palm Tree Crew. I mean, I don't think you know about my holidays, but I'm very much like to go and sit on a tropical beach somewhere. So this just sums up me perfectly. So I managed to get my hands on one of these. Same loft as my old one. So I replaced it with this. Not playing it with it in the winter though, because I don't want it to get wrecked. But if I don't change driver this year, even though, like I said, I'll probably get something shiny and new, I'll be playing with this because it is an absolute beast and I love it. And the feel of it is fantastic. So for me, the winner of the feel competition, if we're saying it, is a Cobra Darkspeed X with a 4.5. Love it. Even the LS feels great as well, by the way. Over the past couple of years, Cobra really have nailed the feeling of their drivers. They're definitely some of the best feeling drivers out there. Rest of the categories, distance, it got 4, looks 5. I mean, the original Darkspeed looks fantastic. I mean, this looks amazing as well. A little palm tree there. I don't know if you can see it. Also, check out that head cover. Oh, it's worth it just buying it for the head cover, to be honest. But yeah, looks fantastic. When it's all black and everything, it is beautiful. And it's a matte top. I'm a massive fan of matte top. With this palm tree one, they've actually made it a blue reflecting top, which I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, fantastic, love it. Um, Price for, because it's always a little bit cheaper than the other brands. Still this year, I think it's about 70, 80 pounds, maybe the same dollar wise. Cheaper than TaylorMade, Callaway, etc. But they are getting a little bit more expensive, Cobra. I feel like the main pool of Cobra, even though they make fantastic stuff that definitely performs exactly the same level as the big boys out there, you know, your TaylorMade, your Callaways, etc. They're definitely up there with them now. I still feel like the draw of them originally was the price was a little bit lower, especially the F9. I think they're just starting to rack the price up a little bit to match the other guys. And I wish they just kept it low. Their iron's not. Their iron's definitely coming in a little bit cheaper, but I just wish they keep the driving in the woods a little bit cheaper. You know, stay faithful to your loyalists who've been with you for all the years. But yeah, fantastic driver. But the price was still last year was a little bit cheaper, so I gave it 4. And then Forgiveness, the Darkspeed X was a 4 out of 5 if you had that weight at the back. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful driver. Definitely the best driving year I had last year with this. Fairway after fairway after fairway with a venter shaft in it. It was beautiful. Just unfortunately, the rest of the game didn't quite match up. Sorry, the handicap didn't drop as much as it should have done, really, for the amount of fairways that I found last year. But anyway, moving on to looks. So this is obviously from my perspective. Some of you guys might be like, ugh, no, that's the most ugly thing in the world. But this is for me. A few up there, as I mentioned, Darkspeed X was a 5 out of 5. TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus was a 5 out of 5. I actually loved the stealth look. I really liked that red face. QI10 I did try last year. Wasn't a fan of the look of it. Didn't like the face color. I think Stealth 2 for me was when they really hit that mark. It's all the same Sim 2 when it came down to looks. Apart from their brand new driver this year, oh my god, the QI35 looks gorgeous. You know, I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of this year, I was like, Cobra. I'm gonna put the new Cobra in the bag. I think it looks great. It looks amazing. It's gonna perform, hopefully just as well as my last one. You know, if I get 1 or 2 yards out, which I probably won't, but if it performs exactly the same, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna have a nice, brand new spanking driver in the bag, nice and shiny, and it's gonna, well, be fantastic. And then the QI35 came out, and now all I can think about is getting that because it just looks amazing. It really does. But you'll wait and find out later if I pick one of them up or not, because I'll do a review of it, obviously. Um, but yeah, so the Stealth 2. But for me, the winner was this, and it was old school, and I still have this club. And it is this. It's a nightclub. Some of you might already be turning off over this. But it's a Nike Vapor Flex 440. I love the look of this club. You know, it has that sort of, I can't remember the system. Have a look. By the way, all these clubs, obviously, I have done reviews for, so do check out the channel for that if you want more information about them. But you know, I love the sole plate. I love that yellowy green, I'd say. Some might even say sick green. Anyway, I love, you know, that sort of whole different section of the back there, sort of stuck on the front. And so when you look down at the club, you know, you get the blue, you get this black, and you get that little blue Nike tick there. And I love the shape of it as well. You know, I definitely prefer the sort of more compact driver shapes, so your better player shapes. Um, I just always have preferred something a little bit more compact behind the ball. I'm not a fan of these sort of 10k drivers that sort of really push it out of the back. So obviously they're trying to increase their MOI. I definitely prefer the more compact drivers. But yeah, I just think this is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's unique, and that's the thing as well. You know, you're at the bottom of it. Ooh, some say maybe that's where TaylorMade got its inertia generator idea from. Leave that up to you. But I will be putting this against the Sim 2. No, sorry, the TaylorMade Sim this year. I will put a head-to-head of these two clubs going against each other, so do watch out for that. But yeah, oh, love it. Absolutely, I think it's gorgeous. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Going through the rest of it, so distance, it got a 5 out of 5. Feel, 4 out of 5. A really unique feel, but I quite enjoyed it, to be fair. Very just rock solid, it felt, because of the way it's all made and everything like that. But, you know, with all that weight at the front as well. But, you know, really enjoyed it. As I mentioned, 5 out of 5 for looks. Price, 2 out of 5. These things are starting to go for what they are. They're still not nowhere near as expensive as a brand new driver, but for what they are, you know, the price is really starting to rack up because a bit of a collector's item now. You know, you're finding it harder to find one, especially in this condition, to be fair, which is awesome. And Forgiveness too. I'm probably even being generous with the two, to be honest. It's probably definitely, well, it is definitely one of the most unforgiving drivers that I've ever tested for this channel. Now, moving on, if I can get a head camera on, because it's got the biggest bottom on it ever. There we go. Moving on now to price. And price is a bit of a different one because if I'm reviewing a brand new driver, I tend to just look at the price you buy it brand new. I don't look at the second-hand market because the idea as well, you know, if you're checking out the video of here, oh John, you're looking to buy it brand new, or get yourself fitted for it. So basically the ratings for that is brand new compared to other things in the market. If I'm looking at the second-hand one or an older model, then I look at the second-hand market as well when coming up to that conclusion. But there was two that I gave basically a 5 out of 5 for. No, three. Sorry, that I gave a 5 out of 5 for. One was the Adam Speedline Super LS years ago. You know, you pick those things up for like 50 quid, and they still work an absolute treat. I mean, they're not the longest anymore, but they still got good forgiveness. You're gonna get yourself down the fairway, and you're gonna be pretty decent distance. You're not gonna be shortest anyway. But yeah, so them absolute bargain, to be fair. Cleveland Launcher XL2 driver, you know, brand new last year. It's running into this year. Cleveland have brought out highball new one as well, but the fact Cleveland was, for the price of it compared to all the others, was fantastic. Performance you got, you know, the looks, everything about it, with adjustability as well. You know, you have that hosel there. It was such a good price. But for me, the winner is the TaylorMade Sim 2. You can still pick up the TaylorMade Sim 2 Max driver here. So TaylorMade Sim 2 Max driver, sorry, not the Sim 2, which is a low spinning model, but the Sim 2 Max. So that's their normal range. The Sim 2 Max D is their dual bias ultimate forgiveness one. So just be aware of that. I know Max now is their most forgiving model, but before Max was actually just the middle of the range. So do be aware of that. If you see a TaylorMade Sim out there too, and you think, oh, I'll get that, it's going to be great. That's actually the low spin one, so just be aware of that because they have changed the name process as they've gone up over driver ranges. But yeah, this TaylorMade Sim 2 Max, because you could buy this thing brand new, and literally last year it went pretty much, you know, a lot of people tested it against a QI10. I tested against a QI10, and the thing, they matched off, you know, perfectly against each other really. You know, it just shows you don't have to buy a brand new club. And the fact that you could buy it brand new for about, I think it was £280 in the UK. I still think you get it for £280. I think you get it for roughly the same amount in the US, you know, brand new. So you can get yourself fitted for this club that's going to be just as good, if not maybe even a little bit better than the QI10. You know, don't have that carbon face, you're not worried about the carbon face falling out or anything like that. With good looks, etc. For a fraction of the price, I don't understand why TaylorMade is still making them, to be fair, because they are that good. Why are you still making them when you've supposed to bring out new drivers? I would have thought they would have stopped it. But so for me, that was 5 out of 5, because if you were going to go brand new driver and you know you wanted to get a brand new driver, you wanted to get fitted, but you didn't care if it was the brand new model, but you still wanted it to be brand new, that was hands down the best option out there. Obviously, some people might not get on with the twist face, so maybe it wasn't quite right for you, but hands down the best out there. And I think because they're still selling it this year, well, I've noticed them still selling it this year, probably exactly the same this year as well. It is awesome, definitely worth having a look at. Um, Going through the rest, you know, of it, distance for, so if I go, you know, say this against QI10, just on the scale, both of them were 4 out of 4 for distance. Feel was 3.5. I did give the QI10 actually 4. I gave it a little bit better feel, but on another day they could have probably definitely matched. You know, looks, I prefer the looks of Sim 2. So the Sim 2 Max I gave a 4 point. Was it 4? Yeah, 4 out of 5. QI10 I gave 3.5 out of 5. You know, forgiveness, they both got 4 out of 5. Just shows you don't have to go and buy a brand new drive, £500, $500, when you got options like that on the market. I still don't understand why TaylorMade have done it, but I guess they just know how popular that sim driver is, and I think they'd probably rather you go and buy the Sim 2 if you're sort of in that budget category, rather than go out and buy, I don't know, you know, these direct-to-consumer brands at the moment. You know, there's a lot of them around. I think, you know, they want you to go and buy that rather than losing you. But it's just, insane value. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me there. And what I'll do quickly, if you haven't seen a Sim 2 Max, let's just quickly show you a quick photo of it. So there you go, a quick photo of it. Now, moving on to the forgiveness category. Now, forgiveness, there's a few out there that I gave a 5 out of 5 for. Mizuno ST Max 230, great, big forgiving driver. Maybe spin up for a little bit if you've got a quicker swing speed, but definitely worth having a look at. You know, great feeling club as well, and great looking club, to be honest. Ping G400 Max that I reviewed last year, you know, that thing was the first driver to just hit the 10K. So it hit 9,900. So literally just under that 10K MOI. You know, everyone's been pushing it last year, pushing it again this year. You know, when you already had a driver from 2017, I think it was 2018 actually. So I think they brought out the Ping G400 2017 and they brought this Max out in 2018. I think off the top of my head. Do check out the review because I definitely have got it right in the review. But yeah, that thing nearly, you know, they pretty much hit 10K. And you can save yourself a fraction of the price getting a, you know, Ping G430 10K Max and go and get that. The only difference is that G400 Max definitely spins up a lot more than you'd sort of, you know, your 430 10K Max. And that's one thing that, you know, really, let's be honest, 10K drivers are doing better this year, well, last year anyway, is keep that spin a little bit lower. Because back in the day, ultimate forgiveness ended up leading to high spin, and then so you quick swing players couldn't really use them. So they have changed that a little bit, but still an absolutely amazing driver. But for me, it was the Ping G425 Max that I reviewed last year. Let's have a quick photo of that club. So there you go. And the reason for this is because number one, yes, it was ultimately, you know, one of the best forgiving drivers out there. Ping have always made the best forgiving drivers out there. They just have. They just, you know, they know their thing and they do it. And they're trying to build a little bit more speed in there now, which they did do with a 10K Max last year. So it'll be interesting what the G440, I think it is this year, that's coming out, hasn't been released yet. So I know the reviews aren't out yet, but, you know, it'll be interesting to see what that does. But for me, that thing was awesome. And what people again didn't realise that with the Ping G425 Max, if you move the back weight into the fade setting, it made it a 10K driver. So everyone's going, I want a 10K driver, I'm going to get rid of this and go and buy myself a new 10K driver. And it's like, well, if you just move that weight, you have a 10K driver. Don't get me wrong, if you've got a slice, it's going to make your slice worse. But then you could, you know, you could counteract it by using the sleeve, you know, getting that face closed on the sleeve. So there's ways to sort that out. But yeah, so it was a 10K driver. So straight away, you know, boom, great, fantastic for me. So for me, it was the most forgiving last year. And the spin rate definitely would have been a little bit down from that Ping G400 Max. Going for the rest of it, distance 3, not really built for distance, as you know, with Ping, but still solid distance. Not the longest, not the shortest, just in the middle there. So 3 out of 5. Feel 4 out of 5. Felt really nice, to be fair. A lot of people don't like the sound of the old Pings, and same with the G425 Max. It's very tinny because obviously it is all titanium. Last year they brought in carbon fiber for the LST. I think did they bring it in for 4? No, they didn't. So they brought it in for the LST. I think I reviewed a 425 LST, didn't I? No, I reviewed that year before, actually. It's 2023 I reviewed that. That's a great drive as well, as you'd expect. But yeah, no, so, you know, brought in carbon fiber now for, I know, for the 10K last year, G430, and the LST version last year, well, 2 years ago for G430. I don't know if it's going to be completely in all the G440, but that should sort of fix that tinny sound a little bit because the Ping sounds are loud. Personally, I don't mind it, but I definitely know some people who do. But yeah, 4 out of 5, the feel was good. Looks 4 out of 5, classic look, all black. Just look quite rough and ready Pings. Well, the old Pings do anyway. They put G425. Still a really nice last, you know, the G430s, but maybe the colouring maybe sort of ruins that roughness a little bit. And then this year they just look. Let you judge that yourself. Price, you know, the price of it's dropping quite quickly now. You know, you can pick these up between 150 to 200 pounds, probably same wise dollar wise as well in the US. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. So overall, just a really, really good club and one of the most forgiving. Well, it's still going to be one of the most forgiving drivers out there, even with these 10k drivers, because you can put it in that fade setting to get to 10k MOI. All right, so there's the 5 categories for all these drivers. But before I go and let you guys get on with the rest of your day, let's talk about the average. So the average, I've taken all 5 categories and taken the average basically, and there was 2 at the top was 4.3. One was the Cobra Darkspeed X, which I've already mentioned, you know, which is fantastic, and the other one was the Cleveland XL2 launcher. If you don't know what that looks like, here's a quick photo of it. So there you go. And out of the 2, I'm going to pick the Cleveland Launcher XL2 as the winner, because for me, it's such a good driver. It's one of the first drivers for a while where any player can sort of use that driver and actually, well, use it and get some really good distance from it, really good numbers with it. You know, before Cleveland, and they've done that sort of again with the high ball a little bit. You know, they're a little bit more high spinning, a little bit more, you know, built around forgiveness, maybe built for people with slower swing speed, with the idea that Srixon, which is owned by the same company, sort of for your better players, for your better swing speed. They sort of separated the groups out, apart from obviously wedges, which Cleveland are the best wedges, and they've stuck with that sort of idea. But the rest of it sort of aimed for your more game improvement, you know, slower swing speed players-ish. That's my feeling anyway. Some of you might disagree with that, but this driver I felt wasn't that at all. You know, I felt this is actually suited for anyone. You know, if you've got a quick swing speed, you can put a stiffer shaft extra and you can really get this thing going. So across the board, you know, as I mentioned, 4.3 average. Distance was a 4, solid. You know, that's the same as the QI10 I gave last year. That's the same as the Darkspeed X I gave last year. Do I think it's as long as those 2? No, I think those 2 probably just pip it. They don't pip it enough to drop it down a category. It is close to it. And a lot of the reviews out there for this club as well, they were close to it. You know, everyone was getting really good numbers with these Cleveland's. Feel 4 out of 5. It was good feeling. Looks 4 out of 5. I think it looked really smart. It's just it was quite big at the back, to be honest, for my liking. So it looked like quite a big head. So that's why I didn't score higher up. But honestly, you know, I had really good fun with this club, and I even thought about swapping my Darkspeed out for it. But my Darkspeed was just immense for me last year. But it came into my mind, to be fair, it really did. I do have a soft spot for Cleveland, I do. Price-wise, as I mentioned, I gave it 5 out of 5. And forgiveness was a 4.5 out of 5. This thing is just fantastic. It is such a good driver. If you haven't tried it and you're looking for a driver and you're sort of mid-handicap, well, I think even down from mid-handicap all the way up to high handicap, maybe if you even low handicap if you want to. You know, if you can get the right numbers out of this, then go and test it. Go and give it a go. Because for me, that was the best club that I reviewed last year overall, the complete package, which is a surprise for me, to be honest, but it was. All right, guys, so there's a quick rundown. Well, not quick, actually, it's gone quite a bit, but there's a rundown of all the drivers that I reviewed last year. I actually reviewed 25 different drivers last year. It's a category I reviewed the most of, to be honest. Knowing me, it'll probably be the same this year as well. I do love trying out new drivers. It's always fun to go down the range and just go all hell leather with a brand new driver and seeing what you can get. So yeah, 25 reviews, so out 25 drivers. You know, those are the winners. Comment down below, you know, what your winner would be if you tried a driver last year or over the past few years. You know, do comment down below. Especially let me know if I need to go and try one. You know, if I've done reviews and you followed my channel before and you notice I haven't reviewed a big club, then, you know, do let me know. One thing I will say is I do have some reviews coming up, say the Cobra F9, which is a big one. I do have that coming up. I've actually got one coming soon to the home to review. And I've got a few other cool ones in there as well coming up. I've actually got like 2 Nikes behind me, to be fair. Actually, I've got 3 Nikes. I've got a lot of night clubs. I'm a big fan of them. You guys might not be, but you know, I do have some good driver reviews come out. But do comment down below, you know, driver that you've really enjoyed and maybe one that I need to try and review next year. Well, this year, sorry, this year in 2025. This year, if I haven't already done so. Also, remember to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and do subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already subscribed. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along for the ride. And yeah, so you make sure as well, by subscribing, you don't miss out on any new videos that come out. All right, I'll see you soon for the next ACS Golf Review. Right, see you then. Bye.